Hey everybody, it's Dana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making a very clean and simple card for my holiday 2016 card series. So you can see the beautiful sparkle of this card. Very simple to put together. You're just going to grab some beautiful glitter cardstock. I picked up this cardstock a while ago at Hobby Lobby, and I'm using a gorgeous memory box die. This cuts out some very pretty snowflake panels. And like I said, it's a super easy card to put together. Now, when you want to make a clean and simple card, make it really easy on yourself. Don't go crazy and all fancy. Remember, it's clean and simple, right? I'm going to grab myself a T ruler because I just want to make sure that when I put down this die, it's going to be smack in the center of my white card panel. Now remember, if you don't get this correct, don't sweat it. You can always go back in and trim off one of the sides to make it even. I'm just showing you how you can pull in a T ruler and just make sure it's even on both sides before you even start your card. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab myself some washi tape. I'm going to have 3 to 5 cards this year. I'm a little bit behind. I'm working on some classwork to jumpstart 2017. So I'm just going to make really simple cards this year. So you can see that cut out some beautiful snowflakes, and it makes my panel really simple. So I'm just going to grab in my Misty so we can go ahead and stamp out a sentiment. I'm using this Hero Art stamp set that I picked up from Michael's. It was 60% off during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday kind of sales that kind of went over like an entire week long. I just ended up picking it up, I believe it was like Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and put down my magnet so I can get my sentiment in place. And I'm going to use a pretty blue ink so it matches all that sparkle. Now, since I'm using a lot of sparkle on the glitter paper, I don't really have to add a lot to my card panel. Just adding a really quick sentiment is all I need. Now, remember, if you want to keep it clean and simple, you can add more detail. You can add a little bit of sequins. You can add some shimmer mist. Totally up to you. But again, I'm making mine clean and simple because I really want to get a few of these cards out into the mail. All right, now since I went ahead and pressed that sentiment down, I really need to get that into that clear embossing powder. I'm going to go ahead and ink my sentiment one more time. I had stamped out this card a few times, so my ink had not adhered very well to the sentiment. So that's the great thing about using a Misty, is that if it didn't come out right the first time, I can go right back in, line it up in the same exact spot, and be able to get that sentiment correct the second time. So you see I'm going to dunk it straight into that clear embossing powder because it's still wet. So I want to make sure I do that right away. I'm going to move everything out the way, and then I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get my heat gun. I always like to have my heat gun very hot before I bring it to the paper. One, it helps to keep your paper from bowing, and also it makes your embossing powder melt a lot quicker. So I like to also go from the front to the back so it kind of melts a little bit more evenly. It's just magical to me. I love watching embossing powder melt. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish that up. And now our card's done. How easy was that? Oh, so pretty. So now to get that down, I'm just going to use some Craft Bond spray adhesive instead of trying to put running tape adhesive on the back of this. So I just have a little box. That's just a scrap box, and you can see I used it before to do another card, and I'm just going to spray some of that off on the corner first to make sure I'm going to get an even flow, and then I'm just going to go ahead and spray that off onto the back so I can get all of a good even coverage. So once I put it down on that course, because that glitter paper is a little bit coarse, I'm going to have even coverage and everything's going to stick down evenly. Now you could do this if you wanted to with glue or the tape runner. I just like to do it with the spray. It just makes it really easy. How gorgeous is that, you guys? Now I am going to use some foam tape because I do want to give a little bit of lift to this card panel. So I'm just going to grab a sheet of white foam, fun foam this is, and I'm just going to trim it down a little bit smaller than this card panel. Now, this card panel is going to be smaller than my regular standard card, and that's just because I like to have a white border around my card panel. So you'll see what I'm talking about when I put my card together. So I'm just going to pop that on the back, and it's okay if there's the sticker left from where I purchased the fun foam. You're not going to see that. It's going to be on the card base, so I'm not even going to be worried about that. All right, I'm going to use my grid to line up my card base. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop down that beautiful card panel. I'm just going to have a little bit of a white border around. All right, so can you see that? How beautiful. Easy peasy, you guys. Want to make great cards? Keep them simple. All right, I will see you guys in a couple days for card number 2. See you soon. Take care.